Hey everybody, I'm Ken Carey. I'm a direct sales expert for the last 30 years, working with big companies, small companies, entrepreneurs, and Fortune 500 companies all over the world, and solopreneurs and every size company in between, using strategies and tactics that we have developed at our direct response agency that have generated over $6 billion in sales for our clients. And we have built a multi-million-dollar agency selling messages through direct response, or in other words, infomercials. Today's topic is the best way to overcome objections and questions that people have about a product or service. When we do a testimonial for one of our clients that is selling a product or service, one of the most important strategies and tactics that we use is the power of a testimonial. And not just any testimonial, but a testimonial from a happy customer, a very satisfied client, and a video testimonial. Why video? Video testimonials are so powerful because you can see somebody's emotion, you can see and hear how they're talking and how it relates to them and how it can transfer to you. Why video again? Is because the internet and the abundance of broadband on the internet is giving everybody the ability to use video in all their marketing efforts that you just haven't had that ability to use before. Combine that with the power of video in Facebook, in social media marketing, on your website, everywhere that you market your message is all video now. I think you can all relate to the fact that nobody's thumbing through to read long articles. Video catches your attention, and a video testimonial is a great way to catch people's attention. It is a great way to create an authentic message. When we do a testimonial for a product or a service with one of our clients, and we're using testimonials, some of the things that have to happen in a good selling message is, how do you overcome questions and objections that people have? You could either do one of two things. You could sit there and tell them the answer to their question, or how to overcome their objections based on your opinions. Well, that gets a little salesy. I think you'd all agree that nobody really likes to be sold. They like to be educated. They like to be given the information so they can make up their own decision. That's what a testimonial does. It does the selling for you. So how do you overcome objections and questions through a video testimonial? The best way to do that is to zero in on a couple of questions or objections that people are having about your product or service. And you probably already know what they are because you're hearing about it all the time. You're hearing the same thing over and over again. So what I want you to do is, when you start interviewing and you're getting a testimonial on your product or your service from a client or a customer, I want you to ask the same question of multiple people. Let me use a very perfect example of a real client that we have today that we've used this strategy on, and it's been extremely successful. I'm sure you've heard of the company Keurig that makes the coffee brewers. One of the challenges, one of the questions, objections that people have about a Keurig coffee brewer is, am I going to get a good, flavorful, strong cup of coffee? Is it really that convenient? And is the value really there? Those are three common questions or objections that Keurig has when people are considering buying that product. We went out and talked to their customers and their clients, people who bought the Keurig brewer, and we asked them specifically, what's the value of the Keurig brewer to you? And we asked a dozen people. And you'd be surprised that you can get 12 different answers to the value of the Keurig brewer. We also asked them, is convenience a big part of what you want to do? You get a dozen answers on convenience and taste. And you take those answers to those questions and you put them together, and you get multiple people answering that question or objection, and you start to put together a really good, firm foundation on why it's a great value. Some people say, it saves me time, it saves me money. I like the fact that I can have my favorite coffee, and that's a value to me because I can get it less expensively and more conveniently at home. That handles that objection to that question amazingly because these people have that personal experience. Does it make great iced coffee was another one. Well, we could say it makes great iced coffee, but if you have a bunch of customers that say, oh my gosh, the iced coffee is so fantastic, the flavor's so good, it's so easy to make, I can make my favorite coffee in iced coffee. And instead of us trying to convince you that it makes great iced coffee, let your testimonials do it for you. and they'll give you multiple reasons why it makes so much sense. We use those strategies. It worked amazingly because people didn't feel like they were being sold. They were just hearing from other people what they loved about it. So those objections to those questions were easily overcome because of happy customers. That's the one tactic you can use to overcome objections and questions, is to ask your customers and clients the same question, whatever those questions are that you're challenging, that you're having. Ask your happy customers those, and they'll answer it for you, and they will do the selling for you. It's pretty simple, right? It's really, really effective, and I want you to utilize it in what you do.